This is our first official video of us building our new home. And it's gonna be more than building just our home. We have a lot planned, and I don't really have any kind of a itinerary or agenda for this video, so I'm just gonna talk. Because I haven't had time to really jump in and explain kind of what we're doing out here. Some people know a little bit about it, but I thought it'd be great to kind of show the land, talk about what we're planning on doing, and just maybe do a little bit more of these videos and kind of share our experience, and also maybe offer a little bit of advice and tips for others. And they can learn from this, and we can learn from others, and just kind of have a lot of fun with this project. So a couple weeks back, we finally sold our house. And with that, we moved up to the Central Valley and bought ourselves about 5 acres of land. So some of you knew we had this plan earlier in the year, and everything kind of just started to go into motion and to kind of started to roll pretty nice. Everything fell in line. So yeah, 2 weeks ago, sold our house, and we were able to buy the land and start the process of kind of improving this land, which comes with kind of a lot of tasks. So more than I think some people are, willing or kind of nervous or scared to do. Yeah. So right now, we've got 5 acres of land. We got onto the land, and there was just about 2 feet of grass. We didn't know what was under the land or how great the soil was or anything. We had a little bit of kind of an idea of what it might be like, but cutting it and getting it short, and you can see we're still in the process of doing that, kind of just trimming a little bit off at a time and trying to get it ready, trying to understand the land and figuring out where we want to plant the roses and all of that. So the rose farm, I'll jump into that. Some of you know that we bought the land because my wife Emily has just like this idea and this dream of having a rose farm. And if you know her, she's an entrepreneur. She was a floral designer, and now she has an e-com, and kind of one of her bigger goals is to have a rose farm. So we have the land for it now, and over kind of in this area is where we're thinking we're gonna have just rows and rows and rows of roses. It's just super exciting. We actually Emily's already ordered some. So while we're waiting for our house plans to be finalized and waiting to get a building permit and all of that, we can start working on the farm portion of it, which will be fun. I've never done that much kind of farm labor in my life, but I'm excited about it. It'll be super cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for Emily, and I'm excited that we get to kind of do something that's, we're following our dreams together. So kind of jumping into the next phase of this land is getting rid of all the old junk. And by old junk, I mean this old trailer and this other building over here. So we were trying to get rid of this mobile home today, and it didn't end up happening. Just scheduling issues with the person who's supposed to be moving it. We were gonna pay someone to do it, and then we decided, hey, you know what? Maybe to save some money, we can give it away, and somebody else can pay to move it onto their land. So that's what we're doing now. Hopefully by the weekend, it'll be gone. And then this other building, this guy, initially we were just gonna rip this thing down and get rid of it completely. But then we started thinking, you know what? The framing is pretty good. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done, and we can do that. And it will actually be, pretty inexpensive to fix this up. It's a little bit of a daunting task, but really all that needs to be done, because all the framing is pretty good. There's a little bit that has to be redone in the roof, but down here, if you can see that beam down there that's kind of holding up the whole left side of this building, it's completely rotted out. But fortunately, that's the only beam on the floor that needs to be replaced. So we're just going to jack it up, put a new beam in. That'll level up the building, And then we'll just kind of replace some of the roof trusses up there. A little bit of lumber, not a big deal. Add some sheathing, siding, and it'll be a nice little building. So while we're living on this land waiting for our home to be built, we'll have this nice little space in addition to our camper. So we have a little bit of living space and we're not getting too much cabin fever. You know, we get to have some breathing room and a little bit of entertainment space, and we don't feel so cramped. But trying to think about how we can actually scale the building and use it in the future so we don't tear it down and it's not just a waste of money and time. This may end up being the office for the rose farm. People can come, pick up their roses. Emily can work in here. I might even have a little office space in here too. It just depends on how we decide to use it. I mean, we're kind of just thinking about how we can use it in the future. And so anyways, nice office space for the rose farm and a big walk-in cooler. If you remember at our old property, we built a nice size walk-in cooler. It was like, I don't know, a 10x7 walk-in cooler. It's perfect for Emily when she was doing floral design. And now that we know how to do it and we know how to improve it, we're going to do a bigger one, and it's going to be maybe, I don't know, 15x10 or something like that, 15x12. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting that we get to keep that building, kind of modernize it. It was, I mean, obviously it's old, had old cedar siding and it was all rotted out and everything. But we're going to make it look really nice. Kind of fix the roof line a little bit to have just a little bit of a modern look, some nice siding on it. I'm thinking like some shiplap siding, nice windows and trim and everything. It won't be an eyesore on the property, and the building will actually match what we do with our home. So thinking about the house. So, I mean, we got beautiful views around here. And one of the ones that I just love the most is actually out this way. So nobody's home over there. We're gonna have neighbors right there. Just beautiful trees. And just to think that every morning we get to wake up, walk out the front door, and it looks like we're just out in the forest. I mean, that's pretty cool. And right now it's hard to see. Let me see if I can walk a little further. But in our backyard, we're going to have a 2-story house to give us a little bit of elevation so we can actually see the mountains from the backyard. And you're not going to be able to see it from here. But it's back over there where you have the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Can't see it now, but when you're higher elevation, we'll hopefully be able to see some of the peaks, especially when there's snow on them. Everything will be a great view. And then that shed that's back there and all that junk, we're going to take care of that stuff too. So it'll be really pretty. Yeah, so this is kind of the location for where we'll be breaking ground in hopefully, I don't know, 4 months. 3 to 4 months is about the timeline. I think we have about 3 more weeks until we get hopefully the final plans from the architect, and then we can get that submitted to the city, and that might take 2 to 3 months. So, I mean, as soon as we get approval on that stuff, we're going to just start busting into the ground and, start building our house. So that'll be a long process. Kind of our timeline is about 2 years. 2 years from the time we actually break ground. That's kind of what I'm anticipating. So 2022, maybe in the fall, will be about when we'll be able to move into the house. And whether it's fully finished on the inside or not, we can always finish the inside as we live in the house, whether it's, finishing a bathroom or finishing a bedroom or something like that. But hopefully by fall of 2022, we'll be in the house. Yeah, so another thing about the house too is it's going to be 2-story, but we're doing a walkout foundation, which, if you don't know what walkout is, it's a basement that's kind of has exposed openings. So on the front of the house, it just looks 2-story, right? But on the back of the house, you can see that 3rd level, which is your basement. But the great thing is you get a lot of natural light, and you can really just make it into another space. And that would be like an additional, I want to say 1,400 square feet. So pretty excited about that, because, you know, you essentially pay for 2,400 square foot house, but you get that extra 1,400 square feet, and it's essentially free. So that's really nice. Very excited about that. Once we get the plans approved, then I think I'll share what our home is going to look like. I'll share those plans with you, and you can see it. It's a semi-custom home. We purchased plans online, and we have the architect doing some modifications and everything. But once we get those approved, I'll show you what they look like and kind of show you some of the renderings that are there. You get a little bit of insight as far as what we're trying to build out here. But that's kind of it for now. That's kind of our plan with the land. We got the rose farm, we got the house, and hopefully we'll be just living here for the rest of our lives. I wouldn't want to put all the effort into doing this and then sell it for any reason. But other than that, I want to do a lot more videos. I know there's other people who do videos on building their own house and just doing it all debt free and all this stuff. And everyone has their own perspective and their own point of view, and they all have their own kind of reasons for doing it. For me, I want to do it because, I mean, I've had a tremendous amount of help watching other people do it and learning from them and learning what works, what doesn't work, some of the obstacles that they've had to jump over and all that. But I want to be kind of in that, I want to help other people too, knowing that we're in a position, Emily and I are in a position to where we get to build our home. I think a lot of people, I feel like, want to do, but they're too scared to jump into, or they feel like they don't have the resources to do it, whether financially or their skill sets or anything like that. And I just want to kind of put some of those fears and worries to rest. And, you know, Emily and I, it's not like we had just a bunch of money lying around and we're just going to pay for it. We worked really hard, kind of setting goals and baby steps to get to this point. We both had dreams, and I think it's important to have dreams and goals to where you can actually understand how to reach those goals. So I'll talk a little bit more about that, and I want to be extremely transparent about things. I probably won't go into too much detail about things, but I'll be as transparent as possible. I know one of the kind of fears and worries is actually like, okay, building a house, how much are you going to spend doing that? And you can go online and do your research, and you'll look at 3 different sites, and they'll all tell you something different. It'll say, as an example, it'll say, hey, your foundation is going to cost, $10,000. And another website will tell you it's going to cost $30,000. And one's including labor, one's not including labor. It's including, one's reinforced concrete, one's not. And it's just so difficult to kind of weed through all of the fine details of actually building a house to where you can't even get a good estimate and kind of really budget around a large project like this. So while we're going through this, I mean, I have a huge budget sheet that kind of has our projected costs and expenses. And so I'm going to be as real as possible as far as like, once I figure out how much it's going to cost for us to put the foundation in, I'm going to walk through, what it took to get to that point. What kind of foundation did we get? And what did it actually cost to excavate or to grade, and how much did it actually cost to put the concrete in, how much is labor and all that stuff. So I'll be transparent there to just kind of help as much people as possible, because I know that's a scary part of the build. There's a lot of different scary parts of the build, but, finances, and when you have these just costs where it's hard to get clarity around it, I want to help try to give a little bit more clarity. And of course, it's not going to be exact or specific to whatever project you're thinking of doing, but hopefully it'll give a little bit of a ballpark and let you feel a little bit more comfortable or confident in your planning. So that's it for now. I was hoping to do this live, but of course, living out here in rural Central California, I don't have the best connection, so I couldn't do a live stream. Hopefully, once I get internet on the property, I can do some live streams and we can just have conversation back and forth. That's what I would prefer to do, just so I can answer questions live and, have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, until then, I hope to share some more videos, and, feel free to reach out And I look forward to sharing our experience. I know it's going to be very difficult and challenging, but at the end of the day, or at the end of the 2 years plus, it's going to be extremely rewarding no matter how much like pain and suffering and how much money we had to spend. It's going to be totally worth it knowing that we were able to accomplish such a huge feat. So, yeah, until then, just look for more videos. I'll try to post as many videos as possible, and I'll try to do them better quality. This is just on my phone. I was just thinking about it today while working, but I'll try to up that production value too. So until then, see ya.